pleasant morning. Today, we are going to explore and take on to a new adventure. I am Magi Belen.
I'm Sofia Camille Soriano.
And I am Diane Cuevas.
We are from grade 11 HUMSS of Placencia Drusila Lopez Senior High School, and we are going to deliver a great story with a great lesson.
It is about two lovers who are ready to sacrifice everything they have because of their precious love for each other. The story is entitled The Gift of Magi, written by O. Henry.
Once upon a time, in a small town in England, there lived two lovers, James and Bella, who were madly in love with each other. When college was over, James got a job as typist in a newspaper company with a salary of £50 a month. James was ecstatic and decided to propose to Della. Will Della answer a sweet yes to James's proposal, or is she going to decline it and answer a bitter no?
Della, I have been in love with you since the day I saw you for the first time, and I want to be in love with you till the end of time. I want to grow old with you, Della. Will you marry me?
Oh, James, I want to grow old with you too. Yes, I will marry you.
And thus, James and Della were married in a small celebration. James rented a furnished flat at £8 per week, and the couple were happy and content. It seemed that their love grew more and more for each other, and things were going well. Until one day, when recession struck and James' salary shrunk to £40. Do you think that their financial situation will affect their relationship negatively? My love, we will get through this. Do not worry. Of course, my love. Till I have you by my side, there is nothing that can worry me.
Now that they have a problem with finances, how will the couple deal with it? And so, the husband and the wife live a tight life, making just about enough to meet ends. Soon, it was Christmas Eve, and the streets of London was covered in snow. The shops were decorated with lights, and the houses with Christmas trees. Della, meanwhile, went through her purse to find how much she had saved up. £1 and 85, 86, 87 pence. That's all? And tomorrow is Christmas. What do I do? This is not enough.
What do you think Della's plan is to make enough money? Now, there were two possessions of the couple in which they both took a mighty pride. One was James's gold watch that has been passed on to him by his father, which was passed on to his father by his grandfather. The other was Della's hair, Della's beautiful brown hair, reached below her knees and made itself almost a garment for her. You've got to do what you've got to do.
What do you think Della was planning to do? She stood up nervously and quickly as a tear or two escaped her eyes. Della wiped the tears off of her face, and putting her old brown hat on, she fluttered out the door and down the stairs to the street. A little while later, she stopped near a store. "This is it! Excuse me, will you buy my hair?" Why don't you take off your hat and let me have a look at it?" Della removed her hat and down-rippled her brown hair. Lifting the mass with a practiced hand, the lady gave a nod of approval. £20. I will take it.
What do you think Della is going to do with the money she got from selling her hair. In the next couple of hours, Della was out and about in the streets of London, hunting for a perfect gift for James. She found it at last. It surely has been made for James, and no one else. It was a platinum fob chain, simple and chaste in design, properly proclaiming its value by substance alone, and not by meretricious ornamentation, as all good things should do. It was even worthy of the watch. Without thinking any more, she paid £21 for it and hurried home with the remaining 87 pence.
How does Stella deal with her new hair? At 7 o'clock, the coffee was made and the frying pan was on the back of the stove, hot and ready to cook the chops. Stella had curled her hair in close lying curls, which made her look like a schoolboy. At least, that's what she thought.
If James doesn't kill me before he takes a second look at me, he'll say I look like a chorus girl. But what could I do? Oh, what could I do with an 87 pence?
Suddenly, she heard his steps on the stairs and turned white for a moment.
Please God, make him think I am still pretty. Please.
How will James react to Della's hair? The door opened and James stepped in. He looked thin and very serious. When he looked at Della, he stood still. His eyes were fixed upon her, and there was an expression in them that she could not read, and it terrified her. She at once wriggled off the table and went for him. "James, darling, don't look at me that way. I had my hair cut off and sold because I couldn't have lived through Christmas without giving you a present. It'll grow out again, you know that. My hair grows awfully fast." But James did not reply. "Say Merry Christmas, James, and let's be happy. You don't know what a nice, beautiful gift I have got for you." "You've cut off your hair?" "Yes, cut it off and sold it. Don't you like me just as well, anyhow? I'm me without my hair, ain't I?"
James looked at her with a straight face. "Don't get me wrong, Del. I don't think there's anything in the way of a haircut, or a shave, or a shampoo that could make me like you any less. But if you'll unwrap that package, you may see why you had me stunned in the first place." Della tore the wrapper, and when she opened the box, she let out a scream of joy. "Oh, wow!"
What do you think was James's gift that made Della scream out of joy? But her joy was only short-lived, for the gift was a set of combs side and back that Della had worshipped long in a Broadway window. Beautiful combs, pure tortoise shell with jeweled rims. They were expensive, and her heart had simply craved and yearned over them without the least hope of possession. And now they were hers. But the tresses that should have adorned the coveted adornments were gone. She hugged them tight and looked up with teary eyes and a smile.
My hair grows so fast, James.
And then Della leaped up like a little singkat and cried.
Oh, James, you have not yet seen your beautiful present.
Do you think James will appreciate Della's gift for him? She held it out to him eagerly upon her open palm. "Isn't it dandy, James? I hunted all over town to find it. You'll have to look at the time 100 times a day now. Give me your watch. I want to see how it looks on it." Instead of obeying, James stumbled on the couch and put his hands under the back of his head and smiled. "Della, let's put our Christmas presents away and keep them a while. They're too nice to use just as a present." What do you mean?" I sold the watch to get the money to buy your combs. There was a sudden silence in the room until James spoke again. And now suppose you put the chops on? Della ran towards him and hugged him tight. James hugged her back. Oh, I love you so much, James. I love you more.
The Magi, as you know, were wise men, wonderfully wise men, who brought gift for baby Jesus. They invented the art of giving Christmas presents. Being wise, their gift were no doubt wise ones. But the uneventful chronicle of two lovers in an apartment in London, who most unwisely sacrificed for each other the greatest treasures of their house, are the wisest of all. They are the Magi.